Ladies and gentlemen, people of Palestine, Amer Zahr.
Beautiful. Turn up the music. Turn up.
الله يلعن بي الغربة شو سويت بحالي مرة ومرمرت لي قلبي وسرقت مني الغالي إلا منسافر سنتين ومنرجع عالضيعة ضاع العمر وبعد حسين ما خلص هالبايعة ويلي 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 الله يعين العنده عيله عايش عالشمعة مهموم عم يتحمل.
That's good. Wallah, Allah yil'an bay al-Qurbah. How's everybody doing tonight? How's Palestine? Beautiful. Man, I love coming here. It's great. I tell you, I come here 2 or 3 times a year, and I really love it. And always things change. And now I've been here during Ramadan, and this is really different. You know, I'm usually in America during Ramadan. And America during Ramadan is confusing too. It's confusing, especially for white people. They're very confused, you know? Cause the hell? Now, Ramadan in America is very confusing, especially for white people. Like, cause there's always a white guy who runs an office, you know, and his Arab employee comes to talk to him. Listen, boss, I'm gonna need like 2 days off work next week. Okay, Muhammad, no problem. Why? Well, it's a Muslim holiday, and we need to take off. Okay, sure, Muhammad. What day? I don't know. You know. Maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesdays. Some guy gets on a rock in Saudi Arabia, then he puts it on Facebook, and we take off. It's confusing. But I love being here, man, and I'll do something that I do at every show, but let's see if it works here. I'm Palestinian. Are there any Palestinians in the audience tonight? Okay. That's good. We got Palestinians. We got white people? Any white people? Yeah? Couple? One? Which? The one wearing the veil? Really? We took you in, huh? Why? What happened to you? Why? What happened? What's your name? What's your شو اسمك? What is it? Nahil? What was your name when you were white? Nahil? Okay, fine. All right. So you're not Palestinian. You're not white? Were you guys trying to trick me? No. Why? I mean, I'll tell you what. I go around a lot, and I travel in America, and I perform in front of Palestinian audiences, Arab audiences, Muslim audiences. And I always notice that we Palestinians, we're a little different than everybody else. We are. Like, I remember when I was a little kid, I lived in a neighborhood. Now, I lived with all white people. Everybody that I lived around was white. Everybody was white. And I had my best friend lived across the street. His name was Tommy. And we were best friends, man. We used to do everything together. You know, his mom was different than my mom. His mom would let him do stuff that my mom would never let us do. Like, I don't know what it is with you Arab moms, you hate sleepover? Yes. Never let us sleep over, you know? Mom, can I sleep over at Tommy's house? What's wrong with our house? Sleep here. But Tommy was my best friend, and we used to hang out all the time. And then one year was Christmas, and Tommy's mom took me and Tommy to the mall. And I was so excited because we were going to see Santa Claus, you know. And I always knew that we were a little different, you know. We were a little different. My dad spoke funny. We smelled like garlic. We ate leaves from the backyard. You know, I knew we were different. Because when I was young, we were real Palestinians, man. I remember sometimes I would be asleep at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and by 10 o'clock, we were in New York City, the middle of New York City, demonstrating like good Palestinians, man. And we went out there and we were chanting, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't want your racist war. 5, 6, 7, 8. Get out of Palestine, you know. We didn't care if it rhymed. So we went to the mall to go see Santa Claus, and that's when I really realized how different I was, because we stood in line for an hour, And finally, it was our turn. And Tommy went and sat on Santa Claus's lap, and Santa said to him, "What do you want for Christmas, little boy?" And Tommy said, "Let me get a bike." And Santa Claus said, "Okay." And then it was my turn, and I sat on Santa Claus's lap, and that's when I realized, because I sat there, and Santa said to me, "What do you want for Christmas, little boy?" And I looked at him with my little Palestinian eyes, and I said, enforcement of UN Resolution 242, letting the Palestinians... We have messed up dreams, that's our problem. You ask a little white kid, what do you want to be? Policeman, fireman, doctor. Ask a little Palestinian kid, what do you want to be? Free. Just free. And my dad was a real Palestinian, really. Real Palestinian. He started every sentence the same way. In 1948. Palestinians, we can't help ourselves, We have a story to tell in 1948. I remember I used to bring my friend over to me when my dad said, "Baba, this is my friend Mike. Hi Mike, how are you?" In 1948. And my dad, man, my dad was crazy. My dad came from nothing, Came from nothing. He was born in Jaffa in 1948. And when he was 1 month old, they left. I think you know why. And they left, and he grew up in Amman in a refugee camp. And in order for him to go to college, he had to finish first in his high school class, and he did. In order for him to go from college to a master's degree, he had to finish first there, and he did. And then in order to be able to go to America to do a PhD, he had to finish first there, and he did. And he did all these things, and now he's been in America. He's worked for the same company for 30 years. He's got a big house, a nice car, and, alhamdulillah. Beautiful. Beautiful Palestinian story. He achieved everything from nothing. But do you know how hard it is to be the son of this person? I can never impress him. Ever. He's done everything, I would bring home my test from school. I said, "Baba, here's my test. I got a 96. Where is the other 4? And I'll tell you what, my dad never had stuff when he was growing up, Never had stuff. So he would always take care of his stuff, He really took his things seriously. He didn't take them for granted. And I remember when we were little kids, we were just stupid little spoiled American kids. We would lose stuff. We didn't care. We had stuff, we'd lose it. But my dad couldn't understand that. He never lost anything. I remember when I was a kid, I lost a little truck. One of my little toys. And I said, "Baba, I lost my truck." He'd always say the same thing. He'd go, "Well, where was the last place you had it?" I said, "Right here." He said, "So it used to be there, right?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "And now it's just gone?" I said, "Yeah." And he'd always say the same thing. He'd say, "Well, I guess we should call the news." I said, "What did you say?" He goes, "No, we should call the news. Because I think the news would be very interested to know that a toy truck can just get up and walk away." I could never share anything with him, Even when I got older, I said, "Baba, my girlfriend dumped me." Well, she used to be there, right? And now she's just gone. Call the news. It was really weird growing up the way I did because being Palestinian in America, not a lot of people know. Not a lot of people know what it is, what we are, I get weird reactions from white people. Very weird. I remember one time I said to a guy in Palestinian, he said, "You don't look Pakistani." I said, "Not Pakistani. Palestinian were the ones on the news. We're on CNN every day. We're throwing the rocks. We're fighting against the Israeli army." He goes, "Oh, you're the ones that are doing the suicide bombings all the time." And I said, "Hey." I said I was Pakistani. Get weird reactions from people. Sometimes I bring out the racist in people. I don't even mean to do it. One time I was late for a flight. It was delayed. Not because of me, but it was delayed. Sometimes it is because of me. Sometimes I'm actually on the plane, and then they take me off the plane, and they ask me questions, and they let me back on the plane. which is, you know, really stupid, and it's scary because now the guy that's next to me is totally scared, you know? But I like to mess with him. I come back, I sit down on the plane, and I go, did they say where the emergency exits are? Were you listening? So one time I was in the airport, I was going to a show, and the flight was delayed. And so we were sitting, you know, after, you know, you're in the airport, you're alone, the flight's delayed, you start talking with people. So I was sitting in the airport bar, a restaurant, whatever, bar, haram, restaurant, having a Coke. And and there's this white guy next to me, you know, I don't know what his name is, Tim, Rick, whatever. And he says to me, what's your name? And I said, Amer. And he goes, wow. That is a really interesting name. Where are you from? And I said, I'm from Michigan. He said, no, where are you from? This is what white people say when they want to find out where you're really from. Where are you from? I said, oh, sorry, from. I apologize. I'm from Palestine. I'm Palestinian. He said, really? I said, yeah. He said, really? I said, yeah, I didn't say I was a unicorn. You know, I said, I'm Palestinian. You know, we're on the news. And he looked over both of his shoulders and he looked back at me and he said, that's really cool. I said, why? He said, because I don't like Jewish people either. And I was mad. I said, listen, Rick, listen, man, that's racist, okay? It's racist of you to assume that I'm racist because of my race. That's racist, okay? And he said, fine, you mean you don't hate all Jewish people? I said, no, I'm just saying. No, we don't hate Jewish. See, we Palestinians, we get a bad rap. We do not hate Jewish people. We just have a messed up relationship with Jewish people. You know, we have like a really schizophrenic, messed up relationship. We don't know how to deal with it. We don't know how to answer the very important question. You know, do you hate all Jewish people? Of course not. Do you like Jewish people? Of course not. You know, like, we don't know what to say. We're not really different. You know, we're not that different. You know, we say, you know, hairy, big nose, crazy mom. It's the same thing, you know. The only difference is that they're chosen by God, and we're usually chosen by the FBI. Like this way. And we Palestinians have had a crazy year, man. Crazy year. You know, I watch the news all the time because I'm Palestinian. That's what we do. You know, social activity for us. We make popcorn, we call friends, and we watch the news. And I was watching the news, and so many weird things have been happening. Like I don't know if you remember 4 years ago. See, we Palestinians, we get in the news. We get in the news. We make it. We are in the news every day. Somehow, we make it in there. And 4 years ago, it really started happening. Now, as a Palestinian, I am not, you know, surprised when they say stupid shit about us on the news anymore. I'm not. But then Barack Obama, our guy, we thought, was running for president 4 years ago. And one of the ways they attacked him, they came out and said, be careful, Barack Obama has a Palestinian friend. And that's it. And then on Fox News, they said, Barack Obama has a Palestinian friend. And on NBC, they said he has a Palestinian friend. And all of a sudden, we became scary. Like ghosts. And then I was watching the news last year, and I don't know if you all remember when Newt Gingrich, you know Newt Gingrich? He's fatter than me. He was running for president, and he said that we were invented. Remember this? Invented. And I didn't even really know how to take that one. I've heard a lot of stuff, but invented? I don't even know what it means. There's some good inventions. Seatbelt, penicillin, you know, good inventions. I don't think he meant that, though. I was listening to him. I think he meant we were a bad invention, like the Macarena, or Farmville, or something like that. And then he said, the Palestinians are hateful. They have hateful things in their textbooks. They write in their textbooks, in their math textbooks, that if there are 13 Jews and 9 are killed, how many are left? And everybody put that on the news. So I wrote Newt Gingrich a letter. And I said, Newt, I heard the stuff that you said. It was very racist and hateful. We are not hateful. We are not invented. I heard you say that if there's 13 Jews and 9 are killed, how many are left? And you said that that is in our textbooks. And that is false. We don't put stuff like that in our textbooks. 4. The answer is 4. Because we're not terrorists, but we're not dumb. The answer is 4. Sometimes I don't even know how to handle being who we are. Like my grandmother, I'm totally, let me tell you how Palestinian I am, okay? My mom and dad are both Palestinian. And my dad is from Nazareth, and my mom is from Akka. And my dad is Christian, and my mom is Muslim. That is called the haram combination. And this is what you get. This is the result. 35-year-old single guy that can never marry anybody. They got married. They fell in love in California in the 70s. They were hippies. And they got married. Then we moved back to Jordan. Then we got kicked out of Jordan. Then we moved back to America. I'm Palestinian, you know. That's what being Palestinian means. You can live anywhere you want but here. People always ask me why Palestinians are so successful. You know, we are. We are successful. Wherever we go, we are successful. I mean, a Palestinian might work in the gas station, but 2 years later, he owns the gas station. We are successful. We are number one wherever we go. That's why everybody's jealous of us, let's be honest. They're jealous. Also because we're good looking. That's another reason. Another reason. I always said the best looking men are Palestinian men, right? We're the best looking men, yeah. Yes. And the best looking women are Lebanese men. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows. I was just in Beirut 2 weeks ago, and trust me, it's true. They are very good looking. But we're successful everywhere that we go. We are so successful. We are. And people always ask me, why are Palestinians so successful? I tell them it's easy. It's not in our DNA. It's not genetic. It's not because we're related to Jesus. It is because we, Palestinians, we don't have plan B. We don't. We got to make it work. We cannot mess up and go back to our country. That's the way it works for us. We're just different. And my dad has worked, only now when he gotten older, he goes on vacation. When he was younger, he never goes on vacation. And none of my Palestinian friends ever go on vacation. And people ask me that too. They go, why don't Palestinians go on vacation? And I tell them it's easy. It's simple. We don't like to leave our house for more than 2 or 3 days. We know what happened last time we did that shit. And all the weird things happen to me whenever I come here, man. Really. I mean, I was, a couple times ago I was entering Tel Aviv airport. Beautiful airport, For those of you who don't know, when us Palestinians come to Tel Aviv airport, they have like a VIP room for us. They let us stay there as long as we want. Free water. And I was there, a couple times ago, and finally it was my turn to talk to the guy. And he said to me, "What is your father's name?" And I said, "George." That's my father's name, George. He said, "What is your father's name?" I said, "Elias." 2 very Christian names. Then he said to me, "What is your mother's name?" I said, "Hanan." He said, what is your mazagh, fazagh name? I said, Muhammad. And he got confused, you know? He didn't know what to do. He said, so are you Christian or Muslim? I told him, I don't care. He said, no, I have to put in the computer, are you Christian or Muslim? I told him, look, in my house, we celebrated everything, you know, Christmas, Eid, Ramadan, Eid, whatever, you know. One year we celebrated Yom Kippur, we didn't give a shit, you know. Celebrated everything. I said, put Jew, isn't that better for me? Put Jew on your computer so I don't have a problem anymore. But he started laughing, you know, because, you know, when you laugh with somebody, they have a good time. We were laughing with each other, and he goes to me, you know, and then he said to me, so you're coming to Palestine and Israel, where are you from? I said, I'm from Nazareth. And I said to him, where are you from? He said, I'm from Jerusalem. I said, no, where are you from? And I love coming here, man. Palestine is great. Really is. The people here are awesome. Everybody has a great sense of humor. Everybody loves to laugh. We love life. It's awesome. I mean, look at this place. Look at this city. Doesn't look invented. We are fun people. And our country is awesome. You know? So much history. Beautiful. I mean, everything was here. God chose this land, you know, for whatever reason. And everything's here. And Jesus is one of us. And we're happy about it. And I've done shows all around Palestine. I remember actually last year, I did a show in Taipei. That way. Next to Ramallah. Is it that way? It's Dughri. This, everything in Palestine, Dughri. What's that way? Jerusalem? Jerusalem? What? Beit Anan. What the fuck? What is Beit Anan? Ah, not my mom's house. You know what I mean? 'Cause that would be a surprise for me. Okay, good. So people are participating. That's good. Wonderful. Are there any Americans here, by the way? Any Americans? No? Like white people? Just white people? Yeah? Are you American or are you white? You're a Palestinian? What are you?
Where am I from?
Yeah, where are you from? I don't know if I want to know the answer.
California.
You're from California? Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Cool, man. I'll tell you what. I do shows, and I meet all the time. I meet people in America, like Palestinians who are married to white people, and it's really funny because we Palestinians are contagious. You know, there's something about us. You know, I actually had one of my friends, one of my friends, and he met a Palestinian, and all of a sudden he changed, because we are contagious. Nobody can come around us and not become us. You know, I was actually in Jerusalem two years ago. I was in a bus, and there were these two Jewish guys in a car next to me. They were white, like European white, and they're sitting in the car, and they're having a conversation, and they're yelling, and they're screaming at each other, and they're moving their hands, and they're eating bizzit and throwing it out the window. They're becoming us. You know, that's why they think hummus is theirs and falafel is theirs, because that shit's good. You know, they're becoming us, that's okay. We have a great culture. And I meet white people who are married to Palestinians, and it's weird. We are contagious. I knew a white guy. He was just a regular old white guy. He liked mayonnaise. He liked George Bush. He was a regular white guy. He married a Palestinian man. All of a sudden, he's dancing in circles. He starts knowing numbers he never knew before. 1948, 1967, 242, 194. We have our own math, you know? He used to like Jews. Now he doesn't like them. He's totally weird. And we have this weird effect on people, and I think it's because there's so much history here, and everything is so cool here. You know, that's why everybody comes back. They hang out. Sometimes they live. Sometimes they go on vacation. Sometimes they do comedy shows. And I love it here. So much history. So I was doing a show in Taipei, that way, last year. And after I did the show, somebody comes up to me and goes, Amer, great show, very funny. Thank you for coming to Taipei. And I said, no, thank you. I love Taipei, it's a great place. He said, do you know why we call our village Taipei? I said, no, why? He said, well, it didn't used to be called Taipei, but a long time ago, Salah ad-Din came here, and he said these people are very Taipei. So I said, okay. Taipei means good. The next week I did a show in Haifa. And that's right. And a guy comes up to me after the show and he goes, Amer, great show, very funny, very funny. I said, oh, are you from Haifa? He goes, no, I'm from Taipei. I said, oh, Taipei, I was just in Taipei last week. He goes, no, I'm not from that Taipei. I am from the real Taipei. I said, why is your Taipei the real Taipei? He goes, do you know why we call our village Taipei? I said, no. He said, long time ago, Salah ad-Din came here. He said, these people are very Taipei. I said, wow, that's a great story. And then I started driving around, and there's a lot of names of villages in Palestine that are amazing, you know? Like I was driving one time from Nazareth down to Jerusalem, and we must have a really great imagination. Because I drove by a group of villages, you know, there was this one village called Bayada. And then Ara. And then behind that, the Aryan. Then after all those, Bayada, Ara, Al-Aryan, you come to a big village on a hill called Musmus. Musmus. And after Bayada and Ara and Arara wal Aryan and Musmus, you get to this little place called Barta'a. Now Barta'a in Arabic means very happy, which makes sense after Musmus, very, very happy. Muslims. You can't say this in America, you know? Where are you from? I'm from Saksak, over here. Saksak, after you pass balls and naked and you get to Saksak, it's on the hill over here. There's a village all the way in the north called Abu Snan. Abu Snan. Yeah. They said a girl from Abu Snan married a guy from Musmus, but it didn't work out between them. They had to break up. There's a village next to Jenin. I mean, I'm sorry, it's Ramadan and everything, but there's a village next to Jenin called Zbuba. Zbuba. Now, my Arabic is not very good, but I think that means like Amar, Amur, Shatir, Shatur. Zbuba. Musmus. 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 Don't we Palestinians have it hard enough? We name a place Musmus. I mean, we have enough problems. We don't need to name a place Suck. It's embarrassing. You know, we're trying to get the international community to accept us. We should not name a place Musmus. It doesn't work. We're trying to get the UN to admit us into the UN. We should not name a place Suck. It's embarrassing. You know, so one day I couldn't take it anymore. I got in my car, I drove the Musmus, I went right to the middle of the city, I found the old guy, and I grabbed him, and I said, why do you call this place Musmus? And he looked at me and he said, well, a long time ago, Salah ad-Din came here. Muslims. We have a lot of history. I love Palestinian names, you know. Although we're going a little overboard with the names. I mean, I'm meeting people here, it's like, what's your name? Thair. Ridal. Kifah. Irtifah. Hurri. Palestine. Arabi. Haifa. Yafa. It's too much, man. Nidal. Kifah. Makes the wedding night sound like a demonstration, you know. Ya Nidal. Ya Kifah. That's wrong. I'm sorry. It's a weird life, man. And ours was even weirder because look, my parents came to America in the early 80s and 1980 actually. And we came and my dad wasn't allowed to go back to Jordan because there were some political problems. And so we came to America and a few years later, my aunt came to America. And before that, my grandfather had died, Abu George. He had passed away. And then my aunt came to America, and now George was left by herself in Jordan. And as we Arabs know, we don't leave old people by themselves. They come live with us. We're not like white people. We don't put them in a retirement home. We take care of our old people. They come, they live with us till they die, then we put their picture on the wall. This is what we do. Now see, when my parents got married, what happened was, they got married, then they moved back to Jordan. And see, my dad called up George to tell her that he was getting married. And he said, George, I'm getting married. Yamma, I'm getting married. And she said, what is her name? My dad said, Anan. She said, where is she from? My dad said, Palestine. And she said, Mabruk. She didn't think to ask, you know. She had a good little Christian George. So George did not find out that my mom was a Muslim until after they were married and they moved back to Jordan. That's when she found out. Well, my dad was smart. He took back to Jordan with him an insurance policy. Me, I was already in there. And so when we moved to America, and then my grandfather died, and then my aunt came to America, George had to come to America. And so who's George going to live with? George. And so George lived with us and my mom for 25 years. And that was interesting. You know, whenever I would get sick, she would say, does your mom know that you're sick? I would say no, and she would come into my room and she would, Bismillah. Never worked. But she loved Christmas. Christmas was big in our house because of George. Christmas was great, man. We got everything. Not everything, you know, we got socks and a sweater, but she grew up in a refugee camp, so socks and a sweater was the shit, you know, it was pretty good. But my mom was cool too. She decorated the Christmas tree. You know, she did all that kind of stuff. In fact, when George came from America, she brought with her not only herself, but she brought with her another Palestinian woman, a big picture of the Virgin Mary, which stayed in our house for 25 years until George died. And when George died, my mother took that picture and she said, I'm going to take this picture and put it away for protection. And nobody knows where that picture is. My mom is very protective of that picture. And I remember, you know, George was nice to us because we were her grandkids. She liked us. And she would give us anything. She would give us stuff my mom wouldn't give us. You know, my mom would not buy us junk food, but George always had junk food for us, you know. So we'd go up there after dinner. We'd always go up to her bedroom, me and my brother. And she would always have these cupcakes that she would leave under her bed. And we would always get a cupcake every night. But before we got the cupcake, we always had to listen to her stories. And it was always the same story. In 1948, they came, they told us, 2 weeks, and you come back. And then she pulled out the key and she said, and here's the key. And I would always say, okay, Teta, can I have a cupcake? And she would give us cupcakes and we would eat them. But she was smart. She never let us like leave totally, because we would want to leave. I say, Teta, I gotta go. Bye-bye. And she would never let us totally leave the room, you know. She would always say, okay, Habibi, Allah ma'ak. I said, okay, bye, Teta. And I get 1 foot out the door. Allah ysalmak. Okay, bye, Teta. Allah yirda alayk. Allah yakhilina yak. Allah yahfazak. Allah yahmik. Allah yajawzak. ويعطيك 10 أولاد ولا بنت فيهم. إن شاء الله. And finally I would leave. And then she died. And I guess that's what makes us different, you know? We remember these stories. We're not that invented. And this kind of stuff happens to me all the time. I mean, you know, where I was growing up, it was with all these Americans, and I was stuck, you know, not knowing what my place was. And I really never really knew. And then I remember I was running for class president in 7th grade, and I was so happy. You know, my dad made 500 photocopies of my face, and we put it around the school. There was only 100 people in the school, but whatever. We put it all around. And I was so excited. And then I remember the day I did that, the same night, America bombed Iraq, the first time. And I came back to school the next day, and I saw one of my pictures said, "Go home, terrorists." And I was really upset, so I took that picture and I showed it to my favorite teacher. And I said to her, "What are you going to do about this?" And she looked at me right in the eyes and she said, "There's nothing we're going to do." And that's when I realized, like, that we're different, but we're different in a different way that other people are different. We're different, totally different. If I was black, there would have been a seminar. There would have been a teaching. But I wasn't, I was Arab. So it was okay. And so I really wanted to be white. I did, I wanted to be white. I really did. And I grew up with all these white people, and I tried to be white when I was a kid, you know. I did. I tried. One time my dad just walked into my room, he just opened the door and he walked into my room, and I said what any good white kid would say. "Get out of my room!" He said, what'd you say? I said, "This is my room. I want my privacy. Get out." You ever say something to your dad, he looks over your shoulder like you weren't talking to him? Like he just... And he looked at me and he said, "Oh, okay. Yeah, let me explain something to you. You don't have a room. Okay, I let you stay here so that you don't die." But I wanted to be white, I really did. I wanted to be white so hard. And what happens now is, like, because I really wanted to be white so bad, is you know how they say, like, if you enter a certain situation, you get like an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other shoulder, you know? But that's not what happens to me, because I want to be white so much. What happens to me is, like, I get like a white guy on one shoulder and a really Arab guy like my dad on the other shoulder, and they fight, you know? Like, let's say I have people over my house and they're staying way too late. You know, the white guy will say, "You should tell them to go home." And the Arab guy will say, "No, you tell them they can stay as long as they want. They can sleep over for 3 days, it's fine." Or like if we're out to dinner and the bill comes, the Arab guy jumps up immediately, "Pay it! Pay the whole thing, show them how much money you have, pay cash." And the white guy's like, "I just had a hamburger and a Coke, let's split it." Or like a really beautiful tall woman in a bikini walks by. The white guy says, "You should totally go after her." And the Arab guy says, I agree, you should go." We're not that different. And I remember when I was growing up, I really liked music. You guys like Arabic music? I loved Arabic music, and my favorite singer was Abdul Halim. Like Abdul Halim, we grew up on this stuff, you know. And Palestinians, we grew up Abdul Halim, Kulthum, and Marcel Khalifa, every Marcel Khalifa song. So, you know, I liked this stuff, but I didn't really like it until I became a teenager, and I liked it. I got a little older, and then I played an instrument. I played a trombone when I was a kid. And did somebody woo the trombone? You did back there? Did you play the trombone? Yes? Here? Where? In America. But you're a Palestinian?
Yes.
Where did you live? Were we partners? Where'd you live in America?
Louisiana.
Louisiana? Really? Do you guys know where Louisiana is? It's like the most racist fucking state in all of America. Or sorry, there's kids here. I apologize. There's a racist state. Okay. Do you live there? Are you visiting, or you live here now? You're visiting. Okay, good. How old are you?
20.
20? So you're getting married. So you're here to get married? That sounds about right. Where are you from? Like, where are you from?
Elvira.
Elvira. Oh, so you are here to get married. You're here to get married. Yeah. You are here to get married. How many people from Elvira are here? Yeah? Yeah, okay. Alright. Alright, no, that's cool. That's cool. Is there anybody from Nazareth here, from my city? No? Just one guy? Alright, thank you, sir. The bald guy in the front. We don't all look like that. Some of us have hair. Okay. Elvira. That's cool, man. That's cool. But I mean, you can't go past like 20 and single in Elvira, right? It's like against the law. You can? You're allowed to? Okay. She goes, yeah, you're allowed to, and she pointed out her daughter. My daughter. It's funny. I feel bad for Arab women, though. I do. They have to deal with messed up rules, you know? We guys, we can do whatever we want. Arab women have to deal with messed up rules. Like, I've seen Arab moms in America, they're weird, you know? They're like, when a girl is 20, they're like, no dating. When she's 25, they're like, okay, you can date, but Arab guys. When she's 30, they're like, okay, you can date Americans. When she's 35, they're like, are you gay? Are you gay? Just, it's okay. My mom finally asked me like a month ago. I'm 35 and single. I was engaged once and then not engaged anymore, and then she finally asked me the other day. She called me, you know, the conversation started so weird. Hi, Amer. Hi, Mom, how are you? Amer, listen, you know you can tell me anything, right? I said, yeah, Mom, what do you mean? She goes, I am your mother, I will love you. No matter what is going on in your life, I will love you. I said, what are you talking about? She goes, are you gay? Are you gay? Just, do you like boys? I told her, Mom, we're Palestinian, not Lebanese. I told you we're Palestinian. We don't do that. So anyway, I really loved, I loved music, and then my dad, you know, one day was going to Jordan for a year and for a summer, and I asked him to buy me a oud, you know. So he bought me a oud, and I played the oud. Now I played the oud for like 20 years, and I really love it, you know. So can we sing a couple songs together? Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Can you hear the oud? Okay, good. So my favorite song when I was growing up was Sawah. You like Sawah? Let's sing it together. Tourist and walking in the land touring, and the step between me and my lover is far. A long walk and anytime lonely. And the night got closer. And the day went home, 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 home. Tourist and walking in the land, tourist. And the step between me and my lover is far. A long walk and anytime lonely. And the night got closer. And the day went home. If my lover found you, please tell him that I said hi. If my lover found you, please tell him that I said hi. طمنوني عملاني طمنوني الأسمراني عملاني الغربة فيه طمنوني الأسمراني عملاني الغربة فيه تورست وانا ماشي ليالي تورست وانا داري بحالي تورست الفرقة يا غالي تورست ايه اللي جرالي and the years وانا دايب شوق وحنين عايز اعرف بس الطريق from where if my lover found you please tell him that I said hi together if my please tell him that I one more time loud if see they can speak English tell him that I said hi طمنوني الأسمراني عملاني الغربة فيه Okay, we sing one more song? Oh my lover, oh my lover, oh my lover. The night and the sky and the stars and the moon and staying up late. Me and you, oh my lover, you, oh my life, you. Both of us, in love together. And the air, oh منه الأير الهواء. And the air, oh منه الأير, oh منه الأير, منه الأير. سهران الأير يسينا الهنا ويقول بالهنا. Oh my lover, come on let's live in the eyes of the night. Come on let's live in the eyes of the night. And we say to the sun, come here after I here, not before a year. Come here, come here, come here, come here, after a year, not before a year. It is a beautiful night, 1,001 nights, 1,001 nights, 1,001 nights. بكل العمر هو العمر اللي غير ليلة زي الليلة، زي الليلة، ليلة زي الليلة. That's Abe, I'm sorry. Well, I'll tell you a couple more stories and then we'll go home. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. I really do. The first event here at the museum, hopefully there'll be many more, and the museum will still be open after the show, so we should hang out some more. You know, I always have weird encounters when I come into this country. Last time I came, you know, because I visited here in early about a month ago, and I came here and I flew in again to Tel Aviv, and I was in the VIP room. And after I'd been in there for like 8 hours, you know, this time they kept me for 8 hours, and I was just mad, you know. I was in a really pissed off mood. I wanted to demonstrate, like, really Palestinian mood, you know what I mean? And finally it was my turn to talk to the soldier, and I know. I feel the same way. And finally it was my turn to talk to the soldier, and he said to me, "For how long will you be staying in Israel?" And you know, I had enough this time. I had enough. I got mad. I said, "You know what? I'm not going to Israel. I'm going to Palestine." And he said to me, "There is no Palestine." And I said, "Yes, there is. Maybe you haven't heard the story?" In 1948. Then behind him there was this big map on the wall. And he pointed to the map and he said, "Look! There is no Palestine on the map." And I looked at it and I said, "But it used to be there, right?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "And now it's just gone?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I guess we should call the news then, probably." Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming out. See you all again soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Good night.
الله يلعن بي الغربة شو سوت بحالي، مرة ومرمرت لي قلبي وسرقت مني الغالي، إلا منسافر سنتين ومنرجع عالضيعة، بقع العمر وبعد حسين ما خلص هالبايعة، ويلي ويلي